Hello? Is this thing on? Okay, I think we're here.
Testing, 1, 2,
That is,
5.
in fact, a question these days.
Yeah.
And it gets more common the older you get, spoiler warning. Welcome back to episode 16 now of That is Futile presents The Risen War.
Woo!
The last time, Soliana took a really long nap.
She needed sleep.
She did. She deserved that rest. Marius fell asleep on watch. Edwin got put into safe school time.
Often had a completely reasonable response to things happening.
Boffin went to guards. To be fair to Boffin, Boffin had a stressful night.
Yes.
Boffin was
Boffin had the least stressful out of everyone.
Sorry, exactly. Boffin was tripping balls.
It's dirty. You scared off tracker cord.
Turn that thing off.
Turn it off.
Edwin learned about some plants and some horticulture at the college.
Sure did.
The house has been stocked up.
We have groceries now.
Yay, grocery run.
Edwin got some, non-confrontational human contact. Which, progress.
Get a hug.
And
Learned that dragoncorn might be real and that there's a flower around now that really likes blood.
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
So, we're going to take a snapshot into the lives of all of our characters over the next couple of weeks as we prepare for the party. The party is the largest single holiday in elven civilization. All of Valeran shuts down for a week. The high elves are so high-strung all the time, and the wood elves are kind of the same, though they won't admit it, just in a different way, that for 1 week a year, it's Mardi Gras in Elven Town, kind of.
Basically.
Yeah.
It is,
Amazing.
without the party, Elven civilization gets weird.
They get
They're crazy.
Elves experience emotions and sensations to such an acute degree and over such a long period of time that the passions of somebody like our dear friend the Butcher can, without being unfocused occasionally, turn more malicious. That's how you make liches and serial killers. So,
Which is he?
We just don't know.
passionate. Passionate is what he is. As long as he gets his party, he'll be fine. Thus, the Elven Queen has been all but dismissive in regards to actually canceling the party. And nobody in Valeran would hear of it. So we will get started. We're going to kind of see what our characters have been doing over these couple of weeks leading up to this wonderful event, this chance to relax, play some carnival games, make some very questionable life choices. Looking at you, Marius.
No bad decisions
What?
ever happens at the
Marius
party
is a
at
good
all.
boy, okay?
No, never.
I mean,
What
sure,
happens
he
at the
hasn't
party stays at the party.
been to the party before. He's been mostly on the road.
Road sleeps in a party.
Mm-hmm. And sure, there will be food and drink and drink.
And questionable decisions.
Festival days.
Well, the questionable decisions come after the drink.
Exactly.
So, let us first go to Edwin. No pressure.
Oh boy, get called up first for class.
Literally, because you're in school.
Yay!
All right, Edwin, what have you been studying?
I mean, probably just evocation mainly, and actual like magic that he's kind of studied on his own, refining it, making his coffee better.
A spell for the perfect cup of brew.
Well, I mean, it's middling coffee, and Boffin said it tasted grainy somehow. So obviously, it needs improving.
It's not suitable for his refined princely
Yeah, well,
palate.
Boffin's picky.
When you're on the road, coffee's coffee or something.
Coffee's coffee.
Okay,
Folgers.
Edwin, about a week into your stay, and I assume that you're going out and having dinner and hanging out with your friends and all that when it's not
Yeah, he's
nighttime.
not going to isolate them completely.
Yay.
But yeah, no, outside, nighttime, not happening.
All right, it's about a week later when you receive a knock in the evening at the at your dormitory door, and you're not quite sure how anybody knocks on your dormitory door, considering that it only exists when it's called into existence.
Someone else has a key.
But if you open the door,
He will do.
your door is summoned to the hallway, and there stands the lady elf that you saw first waiting on the drunk fellow to open his door. She stands before you with a package neatly wrapped in wax paper. A delivery for Edwin Loomis, freshman.
Yeah, that's me.
She's gonna push this package into your hands.
Thank you.
Okay. She's gonna turn around and leave. She looks very tired.
Okay. Thank you. And I guess you'll just close the door again and very kind of cautiously open it. Sort of what happened the last time. So.
As the package opens, your heart falls into your stomach. It is a book, a familiar book. But as you look into it, it is your master's tome. Well, the outside is. The inside is various freshman attempts at dissertations on flora and fauna of Valeran, and some very bad advice on how to brew tea and coffee.
Well, we'll read that one.
As you thumb through it, one freshman you have to assume that it was a freshman that wrote this, or either that or somebody, a researcher who'd been here for years and years and years and definitely need the kick, suggests taking ground coffee beans, old stale coffee, and high-quality black tea and mixing it into a slurry with animal fat to make wakey wakey bars.
I mean, that just sounds gross.
Awful.
Straight cocoa powder can be added to improve taste.
I mean, at the very least, you could add like some granola or something. Honey. Literally anything.
But the book is expertly rebound. From the outside, it looks exactly like the creepy old thing. There's a note inside that says the pages within have been disposed of appropriately.
Well, he'll be upset to hear that one, but...
Fine.
At least the book's not a problem anymore. Now he just gets to deal with it. Assume it's nighttime and now.
Yep, it's
Everything's
getting on
back.
towards evening. It's near dark.
Trying to ponder what to do, because it was one step, maybe two. I guess would he have learned where he can pick up new spells or stuff, scrolls and stuff?
Yeah, the library has a collection of spells and scrolls, though the scrolls are for purchase. Um, the various dissertations on different kinds of spells are just in the library as long as you're of requisite rank to get to them.
Guess I'll try there first.
Looking for
Sending.
sending. All right. Make an Arcana check for me, please.
Oh my god, boy, you're supposed to be good at those.
Okay. So you do manage to find and piece together the components required for that you believe could work for a sending spell within a couple of days. Keeping in mind that you don't have any third level spell slots, you can take the sending spell as your research subject.
Yeah. I mean, he knows that he can kind of cast from scrolls, but it's the cost on that point.
Yeah.
Because you'll ask someone on that. It's just for who knows? Maybe he can afford it. Probably not. He knows scrolls are expensive.
As we briefly discussed earlier tonight, you can spend the time researching this spell and add it to your spell book. And you can only cast second level spells. However, your fun little feature that you use to get out of Iron Pinnacle Keep can come in use here as well. As long as you're willing to take the risk, you may overcast by burning other spell slots to equal 3 if you're willing to take the risk of what that could do to your body. Well, actually, in this case, sending, it's your mind.
It's fine. That's messed up anyways. It's already tired. What's the worst that can happen?
Alternatively, you're looking at about 60 gold for a scroll of sending.
Oh, he only has 70 gold.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we got 10.
Yeah.
Just needs a lot more, and I'm pretty sure that 60 is already with student discount. Yeah. I guess he'll go back into his room and read it for a little bit, see if it's plausible, and I mean, he'll have to get it done over with sooner rather than later. He's not sure if he has 3 days.
Okay. So, which thing are we doing first?
Well, if it's gonna take him a few days just to read it and figure it out that way, and he obviously can't cast that, so I guess I'll just try to overcast.
Okay, so it takes you a few days to learn the spell, and then you can cast it. Are you going to? So you receive the book after a week. Are you going to handle your? So I'm trying to get the order of operations. Are you learning? Are you trying to attempt to learn sending in that week before you get the book?
Probably, actually.
Okay. So
That's been doing in his brain for a bit.
So you have access to sending if you're willing to incur the risk and burn the slots.
Yeah.
If you do want to do it, then we get to introduce everybody to a fun new mechanic.
Yeah. You.
All right.
I mean, he has no other way to do it. Let's go.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay, so you're casting sending. You're overcasting sending.
Overcasting sending.
All right, that's a 3rd level spell. So I need you to make 1 Constitution saving roll for every spell level above your current max casting level. In this case, I believe that is 1.
Yeah.
So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
You have failed your con save.
Oh.
you will take 1 level of exhaustion
Yeah.
in order to cast your spell.
Oof.
Alright, could have been worse, but ooh, it's still spicy.
So, to explain for the rest of the table, this is a homebrew feature. It's how Edwin managed to escape the castle. He can, if his total number of spell slots can all be consumed, so if you're to cast a 3rd level spell slot, he has to use a 2nd level spell slot and a 1st level spell slot, or 3 1st level spell slots. For every level of spell that is cast above, there's a Constitution saving throw, with a DC that I set rather aggressively, honestly. Every roll that fails is a
Level of exhaustion.
level of exhaustion. Thank you.
Oh, it could get bad fast.
It can get bad very fast.
So fast.
He teleported out of there.
Oh
Ooh.
no, buddy!
Whew.
Alright, so, Edwin, what are you sending and to who?
He is sending a message to dear old Master Orig.
Oh. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm ready for it. What's your message?
Just that I have your book. I'll give it back. But I have some conditions before I do.
Okay. You send your message off into the ether. And you await a response.
You gotta channel that inner asshole.
Oh, I can't wait.
So the boy's come to his senses. You can take your demands to the Hound. Tell me what you want, and return it.
There's the full body shudder. I guess he grabbed his stuff and out he goes.
Leaving the safety of the college.
Leaving the safety of the college.
It being evening and all.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay,
Edwin?
Are you at least telling the others?
where are you going, Edwin?
No.
We're all at the
A
house.
little ways out of town.
Okay.
Damn it.
You leave.
Boffin doesn't have a monopoly on bad decision making.
Edwin
Oh.
is trying his best.
Yeah.
This is just everybody gets some.
Everybody gets. Look, the bad decision bagel's big enough for everyone.
Yep, we're all just babby adventurers. We don't know better yet.
Edwin,
As I have said, he is basically of commoner mind.
you walk out of town. The guards give you a bit of an odd look, but they don't do much to stop you. You have the book in hand. The night closes in around as the dim lights of the city recede behind you. Alone on the road, stars and moon above you through the canopy of the trees. What do you do?
Well, personally, just cast a light because yes. Yeah, justifiably nervous about being out here, but well, he will call said dog by said name of a bastard.
All right, Edwin, are you calling this out?
As loud as he feels he needs to also not draw attention of literally everything else in the woods.
All right, you. It takes a couple times. to get your voice to say the words. You recall doing something very similar to this. The memory is concerningly fuzzy, almost like it's been tampered with. First you squeak the voice, the name, and then you call to the hound. You call for Basker to come. And in a way that's concerningly familiar, the hairs begin to stand up on your arm and on the back of your neck as the temperature drops a solid 5 degrees. And you hear
Found
the
the ghost room,
low...
guys.
Hmm?
Found the ghost room, guys.
You hear a low growl. Red eyes appear in the trees. And this massive, hulking hound steps forward. The stone road thudding under every heavy step. You can see the muscles coiling and moving under its fur, if you can call it fur, as it wheels around the road, cutting you off at first from running away from the city and then circling back to be between you and Tolderon. Only the dark road lies behind you. And we're going to go really quickly to Soliana.
Crit.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Who said what?
Oh, I thought somebody said something to me.
Just said goddamn crit.
Oh, okay. Alright, Soliana. During this
Yeah,
time,
sure.
you're here to, you're gonna talk to you want to talk to your parents, and you're wanting to make a purchase, correct?
Yes.
Alright.
Those are her plans.
So you have 2 weeks. What are you doing and when?
She's probably going to talk to her parents as soon as she can.
Okay.
And she's gonna probably head to the theater to find them during the day.
Alright.
And she's gonna get all the sleep she damn well pleases.
Soliana. You head towards the theater, and indeed, there you find your mother, Elora. You get a lot of your looks from your mother, and a few of your mannerisms as well. She is supervising set construction, and as with every year that she does this, she is, while she loves the stage staff, you would not know so by listening to her. There are words coming out of your mother's mouth that would make a dwarven drunk blush.
And it's an elvish, so it sounds pretty.
It's one thing to call
Cursing,
somebody
but
a
in
moron for how they're unable to paint a simple object. To insult their parentage for it, though.
Yeah. Soliana's going to just approach and be like, you don't have to be as hard on them. You know. One of these days your voice is going to give out.
Sully! And she's going to turn around and look at you, and her eyes brighten, her face lifts, all the anger lines disappear in a way that would make an older woman feel really unfair. And she's going to sweep down the aisle and take you in her arms, give you a big tight hug, kiss to each cheek. Soliana, how long have you been in town?
Not too long.
Good. I would be cross with you if you hadn't come to me right away.
Right. Do you have a moment?
Of course.
Dad
I will.
around?
Your father is currently at home. He got into something he shouldn't have.
That sounds like him.
There's very little clothing he can put on account of the cream he has to put all over the sores.
Fair. All right. Let's step away somewhere more private, away from private.
Very well. And she will walk with you to a back room where there's nobody and nothing but a small lantern light. And a couple
Is there
of chairs.
somewhere? Okay, yeah. Soliana is gonna just kind of sit and essentially explain everything that has happened up to this point and the news that she has, and that they gave the news to the queen. And maybe advise that after the party, or maybe during the party, you get the fuck back home.
All considered, she
So
takes...
that you can go south, so that you can flee south to Brigario immediately if shit goes sideways.
She takes the news with... Well, you can't really tell. It is a lot, and your mother doesn't say a lot right away. She appears to be digesting a very large meal that you've just given her. And
Fair.
after a moment's thought, to really process the whole there's undead crawling through Valerian, my future son-in-law is dead, and maybe not quite as dead as we want him to be, though, considering the circumstances. And my daughter's been
Nearly
wandering
almost
around.
dead, but not quite.
My daughter's been wandering around getting attacked by undead. That's that whole thing. She's maybe in contact with Marius again. That concern.
Great.
Oh.
Great for a screenplay, though, right?
The first thing she does is she's going to take her hands and she's going to cup your chin so that her fingertips are just brushing the bottom of your ears. She's going to look you deep in the eyes and... Sully, I'm so sorry. That must hurt terribly, and your mother is here for you. She's going to pull you off the chair and into a tight hug.
Yeah, she's gonna... Soliana's just gonna squeeze her mom tight and just give herself a minute to process it.
She's gonna pat your back. She's gonna run her fingers through Sully's hair. Just hold her, and your father and I will be safe.
All right.
We'll leave as soon as the production's finished.
Okay.
We'll go home, and you will come too. Right?
Mom, I can't leave him out there.
She's going to set you down. Do the same, but she's going to scoot her chair close to yours so that she can put her hand on your shoulder. She seems to be having a hard time keeping her hands to herself at this moment. Like a mother bird holding her wings over her young. Soliana, is it really your task to end the unlife of your own fiancé? That would be a cruel world.
We were supposed to go to Thrakamir. I was supposed to meet his side.
I know.
I have to get his family stones, Mom. You don't understand what it means.
I do understand that the dwarves feel very deeply about what we consider strange things. I don't want to see you hurt, though. Not anymore. The other people, they don't understand how you and I feel. They don't understand the depth.
One of them
Okay.
does. And one of them is... I forgot her middle. One of them is Gale. Insert last name here.
Yeah. Fault.
One of them is one of the Fault girls. That...
I have no doubt as to the quality of the company you keep. What I'm saying is that we are elves, and we do feel things so very deeply, so I understand, sweetheart. I don't want to lose you.
I'll be careful. And I'll write as often as I can.
She's gonna put her hand on your cheek. If you do this, and after a fashion, a warrior you may be, I fear, though, more than anything, that if you seek him, I worry that we will see you walking alongside him. Do you understand?
I do.
If you were to lose your life, I fear your bones would not rest easily.
I know that's a risk.
Is it a risk you're willing to take to retrieve jewels that another could just as easily acquire?
It's not. Yes. The jewels are worth that. I wouldn't be his fiancée if I didn't.
Are they worth the harm you could bring to others if you were changed?
I'm sorry.
Very well. She's going to take from her hair, she's going to untie a red ribbon. And she's going to take your hand and wrap the ribbon like hand wraps around your hand and wrist and tie it there. We will be seeing you before the party.
Right.
Or you will be seeing us.
Ominous.
You know when we have dinner.
Okay. I'll bring my friends.
Father will want to see you.
Right.
I will try to put a robe on him.
Please.
It's bad, Soliana.
I don't doubt that.
Maybe don't come over for a few days until the blisters go away.
Yeah, we'll make our way there.
He hasn't worn anything but a loincloth for 36 hours.
Oh, God.
What'd you get for going through fireweed?
She's gonna give you a kiss on the forehead and
Oh,
send you on your way.
all right.
And we
I'm
will,
going back to work, Mom.
I'm going back to work after that bomb.
She immediately starts taking out her frustration on these stage workers.
I'm so
Oh no.
Soliana walks out and is just like, y'all, I'm so sorry, and just leave.
Walk of shame, walk of shame, walk of shame. Where's the
Liliana
power
has
walk?
betrayed staff.
Alright, and let us go to Marius for a little bit. Don't worry, we're gonna get back to Edwin. I'm gonna make everybody squirm about it first.
As you do.
Nothing
Already
less.
squirming.
He's fine.
Marius, you are here seeking genealogy.
Everyone seems to know who my family is except for me. So.
Alright.
I know nothing about books, so I am.
Are you taking anybody with you?
Does anybody want to volunteer? He probably
mean-
mentioned. He probably mentioned something to Gallenboffen.
I mean,
You could try just asking the people who said they knew your grandma.
Well,
they're a little bit out of reach.
No, I
the Dragon Lady is doing Dragon Lady things. The Queen is the Queen.
I mean, she did offer to catch up with you on that sometime, but yeah, I suppose that could be any time in the next decade or two. So.
Look, it just seems that a lot more people know about Mom and Pa than I do.
Were you expecting to find this information? I'm not entirely sure that the Laren records will.
I don't know. At least something. I can't really do much for my dad right now, so I got to do something. Otherwise, I'm gonna go stir crazy,
Right.
and ain't no one want that. So, if you need me, I'll be wherever you find genie. Where would you find genealogy stuff?
You find a library, not the maybe not the one at the college, but you find a library and you ask them, or you just.
I think I'd be way out of place at that library.
Do you want me to come with? I mean,
I'd appreciate
I
an
ha-
extra set of eyes.
I had to do history studies, and
Oh, did
of
you?
course, Grandma can rattle on for hours, so.
Well, you're more learned than me, so.
Oh, now.
Second set of eyes.
I can come with you?
I mean, if it'll help you, I mean, I'll help. I just don't know that I can be much help, but
God, I have to read a book.
But yeah, he's gonna field trip to the library for the barbarian. He actually has moderate intelligence, so
all right.
Smart enough.
smart enough. Y'all
Alright.
think he's dummy.
Marius,
But
with Gale's assistance, make an investigation check with advantage to look through the Valerian library for information on your family.
he's having a headache while he's doing this. I never had to do so much reading before.
Hey,
You're
Dang.
doing great, buddy.
yeah, too bad.
All right. So,
I don't
Gale
know how
and
Edwin
Marius,
does it.
you both spend a couple of days
Oh.
in the library, not all at once, like going back and forth, trying to piece things together. And this is what you
Boffin will
find.
give up before a day is done, I'm sure.
Oh, I didn't.
Boffin thinks
Sorry, I
he's-
missed Boffin coming.
Oh, he said he'd help, but then he was like, okay, actually, I can be of no help here, and this is going to take forever. So,
Actually, not to go books, so I'm gonna go grab lunch and dinner and Elevenses and tea time
Okay, all of
and
those are
second
important.
breakfast.
Yes.
yeah, I'll just stop by to drop off food for you all, since you're apparently not leaving the library for 2 days.
Oh no, we're going back and forth.
Over
I mean-
over a few hour increments here and there over a course of 2 days, this is what you've determined about your family. Your your grandmother on your father's side
Mm-hmm.
was Andrea Lamond after she was married, and she served in the Valeran militia, and as an attachment to the Rangers, she was responsible for helping to root out a handful of cultist enclaves. People trying to summon dark cancers into the forest of Valeran. She even did a couple of forays into Greymore to root out some cultists there.
Grandma got guns.
Grandma's badass.
She was known for a she was the, even in her younger years, she was known as the, cookies and pies person. She would always, when she met up with everybody to go out on a quest, they actually called them quests, she would join together with a fellowship and go out on an adventure to take care of a problem they needed taken care of with her husband, and then come back to the farm. And every time there was a meeting of the fellowships, she was the one who always made sure that everybody had a little baked good. She was also known for, when it came time to take care of those problems, she was the most terrifying dervish on the battlefield. It is written in these books that she had a blade that was as long as she was tall, called the Ash Rune.
Ooh, that's badass.
And the blade itself would it's a little unclear, and it has to be translated from Elvish to Northern Alsavezian Common, and it's very poetic writing. Whoever wrote this particular part had a thing for your grandma. Like,
Oh no.
Gail's doing her best to translate.
Oh, no.
like there's a lot of nuance there, but the Ash Rune was would either set enemies ablaze, or maybe it set the poet's heart ablaze to see it in use, or maybe it cauterized wounds as it clove enemies in twain. Like, clove enemies in twain is definitely one of the things that it did. But your grandmother was said to enter a fury state that was almost like watching a dance. She swung the sword that was as tall as she is, that was as long as she is tall, swung it with grace, beauty, and blind, hate-filled fury.
Damn.
And there's a little footnote that her husband once shot a cultist through both eyes at the same time with the same arrow.
Clearly, Grandma's more important here.
They even did manage to include your grandma in that story by saying that it was her blade that cut the arrow in twain to strike the cultist in both eyes.
Okay.
Of course. Of course. I don't know who wrote this, but it's clearly.
Someone who's just hardcore crushing on your grandma, I guess.
Can't blame.
Someone
Can't blame
said
them. It sounds like she's impressive.
this author said, "I don't care if she's married. I don't care."
So, your grandmother is buried in a place of honor in Tuljaram,
No, no.
but her blade was never found after her death.
want you to say the name of the blade one more time. I just. Oh.
Ash rune.
Oh.
All one word.
Ash rune. That is so cool. I mean, Gail's probably having to translate that part to him.
She is. She is doing her best. I mean,
sorry.
at least grandma, taught me Valera and Elvish. Some of this is really tricky. Really tricky. Oh my goodness.
He looks like he's having a little effort processing all of it.
The literal Elvish translation would be something a little bit closer to a runic blade which reduces to ash. But the words translate more or less to ash rune.
Grammar is a hell of a thing.
Elvish grammar. It's a trip, I tell you. I mean, you think walking here is a trip? No. This is even more.
He's kind of just sit there. Gears are turning. I didn't know she was. I'm gonna need a minute. Okay. All right.
That's understandable. Maybe we could see if we could visit her interment, wherever they buried her.
I think that would be good. Hold on, I got a cat. He's also invested in this.
Let's just move with the long boy.
Yeah, I'm a really long boy. I think the walk would be good. No one ever said anything to me. Granted, I never asked. I reckon we were usually too busy to talk about such things, but I mean, why would they? You think they tell me?
You would think. I mean, unless there was
that's not a small thing. A ranger.
No? An attaché to the Rangers, even. That's pretty significant, yeah.
Do you know where she's
No, but I know
buried?
how we can find out.
Okay. Like he looks like it's final exam week, and his brain is just it is turning. He's firing more neurons than he has past couple years.
Yo would like to ask a librarian if they would know.
All right. The tombs beneath the keep would be your place here, down in the catacombs. But we can take Marius there here in a little bit. Boffin,
Yes.
I feel bad. You've been sitting there quiet all night. So, what are you doing during this couple of weeks while all this is going on and you're not getting into the books?
Just, wander around, get a feel for town, maybe make a few connections. And actually, he'll probably let Gail know that he's going to do that because Gail seems to understand some of the things he does. Yeah, just be like, yeah, Gail, don't. Sure, I trust official sources right now, so I'm going to go try and drum up some unofficial sources to help keep us informed on what's going out in the wood.
Because I didn't take your missing persons report seriously.
That's a good idea. I mean, who else is gonna know the lay of the land and the talk of the town, but the people who behind the scenes, as they say.
I thought you'd understand, but yeah, just figure I'd keep you in the loop in case anything happens, because this is unfamiliar territory. Such people can be dangerous.
Just be careful.
All right.
Just
Boffin,
leave me a sigil.
as
Will
you venture forth through Tolderom City, kind of building a network and go ahead and make an investigation check for me, please.
All right. Oh no. Intelligence.
And
Right.
give me a moment. Try and decide if you have something that would give you actually almost, I think your background is going to go ahead and give you advantage on this.
That makes sense. All right.
Sorry, I was trying to think about if you should have advantage on this before, but I didn't quite get the words out there in time.
Oh.
Hey,
All right. That's a lot better.
That's a lot better.
That's a lot better.
All right, so Boffin, as you kind of start to stretch your roguish fingers out throughout the town, making contacts, learning, and you're good at this. People discount you for your short stature and, to them, odd ways, but you know how to make inroads. Boffin ain't no fool. And indeed...
He got the connections to make that guard gig somehow.
Exactly. And the same sort of thing you leverage now. You manage to, after a few days of work, kind of learning and speaking, you get in contact with a pair of unsavory folks who happen to have tie-ins to the underground throughout Valeran. These are the sort of people who can get you goods and move things around that the authorities don't want, whether that be fugitives or news, anything like that. You now have an underworld connection in Tolderom, and you can write this in your character sheet somewhere. It is a pair of individuals. A Kenku named Oiled Leather.
Okay.
And a half-elf woman named Nithalia. I wrote so badly I couldn't even tell what I'd written. I will send that to you as well.
All right.
Oiled leather.
Awesome. Yeah.
Love that.
I mean, I guess when Kenku are named after what they're down.
Mm-hmm.
Oiled leather makes Puckle and Swan Honk sound normal.
And he's particularly interested in keeping up to date on anything they hear that's going on in the woods or in Greymore, but we understand that it might be more difficult to get news from there. Then he'll probably, in turn, how he weaseled his way in here is like implied certain things about what's happening in Greymore. It's like, okay, yeah, you might want to start stockpiling Greymore and goods, before the party happens. That it might be more difficult to get after that.
So, as thanks for your warning, you're given a small bottle of elven liquor.
Okay.
And
We'll also recommend they don't send any elven people to Greymore whenever they are trying to make deals there.
you're also given some news.
Oh, okay.
The authorities aren't talking about it much, but they have arrested people in the forest that are not Valeran natives.
Oh, okay.
And further, they're trying to keep people from going deep into the woods more than usual. They're hushing talk of it just before the party. And
Of course.
because wood elves live in trees, generally speaking, and these are kind of interspersed throughout the forest diaspora, some of those trees are coming up empty lately. Rumor has it that this news isn't even reaching the Queen.
Of course.
And that is what your underworld connection gets you, purely in pure mechanical terms. Oiled leather is he doesn't wear leather, but as he walks around, it's kind of hard to tell Kenku sometimes. As he walks around, he just makes that creaking noise with his beak. Sometimes he hits just the right note that makes your teeth kind of vibrate or kind of
Oh.
makes your teeth itch.
I'm getting the impression that maybe like whenever I set up a meeting with him, like he does like that's the first thing you notice. You just hear that noise somewhere
Yes.
where he shows up.
You hear the noise. It sounds like he's about to come into the room. And then you hear it for like a solid 3 minutes. Until he finally walks into the room. You expect him to be like wearing chaps and this big old suit of leather armor, but no, he's just walking around with his tunic.
Oh, they're all just brats.
On the subject of people getting arrested, do they have any more details about it? Like, is it suspicious individuals or like refugees, or do they not have any more information at this point?
They are these sort of dirty fellows.
Dirty.
Broken teeth. Scruffy beards, the sort of person that you see doing our kind of work. Except without any of the
Doesn't
subtlety.
sound like they're being very tight.
But more reminds me of stories of cultists summoning things out in the woods years ago. Not something that I terribly worried about now, but there's something going on with it, especially because normally they let people know when there's suspicious folk in the woods.
Can't have anything disrupt the party.
In a way, sad thing is I understand. But it's not right to keep people in the dark. And I would rob
That's why I've reached out to you, friend.
Friends, think well together.
Right.
I would rob the Queen's coffers blind if I could get in there. But even I'll admit that in general she has been a just queen. If the news isn't getting to her, then somebody else is causing problems for us. Guard's nice and easy right now. That means it's nice and easy for other people too. You need anything, though, you know where to find us.
Thank you.
Oh.
Keep you informed if anything else I find out as well.
I appreciate that, and if there's anybody around here that talks about being a good neighbor, they're not one of us.
Understood.
All right. Gale!
My turn.
So what's going on with Gale when she's not helping Marius?
When she's not helping out, she is keeping attentive for her for other Grim Knights making their way here, or inquiring about some of the cleric type magic she's been seeing the party use, but
Sure.
just a little bit at a time. And warning her grandma Manuvia to after the party hightail it out.
All right. You've warned your grandmother. The impression that you get from her is, I was born in this city, I'll die in this city, damn it. They can take my house from my cold, dead hands.
I'd really prefer they didn't, Grandma. That's the opposite of what I would hope.
She assures you that she will leave more cold, dead hands than they will.
Grandmas are just badasses, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she was the one. She was the one who helped encourage Gale to learn swords.
Does she have the actual skill to back it up? We just don't know, but she will certainly make the claim. And you can spend, as much time as you want to studying the stewards and what they represent.
Whew, excuse me.
You were. Was there something else you were doing as well? I don't remember if you mentioned something and it fell out of my head, or if you didn't mention anything.
I did mention. I did mention that the lost family crest, but I didn't know if that was a now thing or a later thing.
In your wanderings through the city, Tolderom is a beautiful place. But you've always been a little bit of an outsider here. Being a half-elf means that you never quite slot perfectly into elven society. And while the folk here are very warm, there is just a hint of notable standoffishness. Just the barest hint. If all things were equal, an elf would be served before you, and more intimate conversations happen more easily amongst elves than half-elves. And that's just something that you notice happening to you and other half-elves throughout the city. It doesn't even happen to humans quite the same way it happens to half-elves, because humans are not looked on with pity the same way that half-elves are.
And she kind of gets it. She tries not to let it get to her, but it's like, this is frustrating. That she keeps that thought internal.
More than anything, it's this slight undertone of pity. That, oh, you poor thing. You could have been so much more.
Mm.
But a few days into your stay in Tolderom, you see on the streets near the temple your old colleague Sturmkrieg.
Oh. Huh.
He doesn't appear to notice you at first.
That's a sight for sore eyes. Lieutenant Stormcreek, sir?
Falk. See, you made it all the way up here?
See, you made it here.
In one piece, no less. Well, almost.
Yes?
He holds up his hand. He's missing a pinky finger on his left hand.
When did you lose that?
Gatewatch.
I guess it was a bit of a hustle and bustle back in TMiF, wasn't it? So that we didn't really get a chance to look.
As we were handling the refugees going up north, I took a blow. Didn't realize I had one of the healers cast on me or something to keep me up, and then I pulled off my glove later, and my finger fell out one end, and the stump was already healed over on the other side thanks to the magic.
Oh, gruesome.
I keep it here.
Well.
He's gonna hold up a finger bone on a chain around his neck.
You, sir, you would.
Grip, nice.
I can have it happen 9 more times.
I'm collecting my own finger bones.
Horrible war trophy.
I mean, They took it from you, but they didn't take it from you. That's for certain.
Exactly. How did your news travel?
At that, Gail's just gonna kind of, the smile just kind of, she just kind of deflates.
The typical Grim Knight's response.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't seem to matter
It's,
how close the wolf is on their heels. They still don't hear us
Yeah.
yelling about them.
Never do. I mean, I guess in effect, we do cry it often, but then again, we're doing our job so that nobody else has to see it, huh?
Apparently so.
But I get the feeling that it's just. I feel like this is the big breath before the fall.
Let's hope
You know?
we can take that breath.
I hope so. The queen did seem dismissive, but I guess I understand, wanting to keep things fairly normal. I mean, I know how elves can be if the party doesn't happen.
I mean, I would think that they could skip it once every now and again, but he's gonna kind of
Yells
look around after
shrug.
he says that. We can probably hurt him.
All right, who's got their knives out?
But at any rate, everybody who was with me made it too. Made
That's
it up
good.
here, and
It's very good.
we were being pursued by a shadow hound of some sort. I don't know, but something's been after Edwin, the wizard boy.
Oh.
I say boy, he's older than me.
I mean, half elf. I mean, I understand. I'm a human. Half my colleagues are older than me.
That is just it, isn't it, sir?
If I have the
But-
misfortune of dying at the ripe old age of 90, many of them will not even be middle-aged.
Yeah. I thought being a grim knight among other Greymorans was kind of what's the word? Not quite ostracizing, but getting there, It's even less so being half elf around here.
Well, as I understand, Lothiel has a slightly larger half-elf population.
Yeah.
Going to be there for the start of the party, I think.
Seems like a good place to start.
If
I don't know where we're going to end up.
Well, if the Mad King is going to kick off a war before, during, or after the party, then Lothiel will be one of the first places in the path. I
Yes.
intend to be there with sword and shield in hand.
Of course, sir. Would you like that well, I guess they're not sworn. Would you like that I join you? And them if they also agree.
Just gonna think on that for a moment. In the absence of more senior orders, Falk, you are a Grim Knight errant. As long as you are pursuing our noble cause, you may do so in your own manner at your own discretion. But of course, I would always like another Grim Knight by my side. And he's gonna hold out his hand to you like for a handshake.
She'll take it.
instead of shaking your hand, he's gonna do the thing where like he grabs your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna pull you in and give you like that side hug sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir.
It's an oddly human gesture.
Hey, she'll take it. That's fellow Greymoor and friendliness right there.
Weird ass humans.
Not a moment to waste, though.
Of course not.
He's gonna go off. He's the only person on the street that's in a hurry.
What, do you have something in particular you're going after, sir?
As many undead as I can find, and maybe even the Mad King himself.
Ambitious.
Well, hope to see you come out on this side of the grave, sir.
Well, if you see me walking around shambling, I either haven't had my coffee yet or I'm undead. Either way, slap me first, then cut my head off.
Yes, sir.
Remember, keep your spine
We
in your
rise
back,
higher.
out of the ground. We rise higher. Just gonna clap her on the back and head off.
She feels better knowing that he's made it and just having a chance to just catch up. All right.
Alright. And we are going to take a short break before we get back to Edwin.
With you.
Let's let it do a little longer.
Part 2.
Let that marinate. We'll be right back.
Right.
we're back. Hope you took this time to get a snack, get a drink, and stand up. Alright, so let's just dive right back into it because I know that everybody's excited to find out what happens to
Squishy.
Gale.
Ah!
I mean Edwin.
Not squishy.
Alright, Edwin.
There's a dog there.
There's a dog there.
Oh boy.
This dog approaches you, growling, his eyes meeting yours. He's between you and Tolderon. There's nobody around you. The air is cold. Your hair stands on end. You've got a shiver down your spine as it approaches. You remember the feeling of your arm being jerked as it pulled something out of it. You flash yourself back to the present. You look down and expect to see blood on your hands from the meal that you're about to feed this thing. But there's nothing there. It stands about 4 feet from you, staring, hunched down, muscles cording as if it's about to pounce. What do you do?
I mean, he doesn't have food in his hands, but he's got a book.
The hound, Basker, will look down at the book, then up at you. Then he'll hold perfectly still. The dog's mouth will open slightly and a familiar, disgusting voice will come forward. Sense, have you seen?
Snoop. Yeah.
I always knew you were dumb enough to run. I didn't realize you were dumb enough to take my grimoire.
I just thought that maybe it would help.
What help do you think that you, two thick-skulled and cotton-brained, to even be an apprentice? You were barely good at making tea. Why do you think I wouldn't teach you our craft?
Not what you wanted.
Give my tome to the dog. Careful, he
I have-
bites.
Yeah, I'm aware. I have things I want in return.
The hound is going to look back and forth. Boy, I don't think you're in a position to negotiate this.
Depends on how much you want the book back then.
You're out here alone. Basker could maul you, pull out your entrails, and bring me the book anyway. In your magic, you couldn't even light a matchstick, much less hurt that book.
You want to put that to the test?
I've seen you work, boy. What vapid demands could you possibly have? Oh no, stop coming after me! teach me how to make a card go. What do you want?
You to leave my parents alone.
Your you think that's a
No
very
secret what you've been up to around here. You guys are looking for elves.
so the Sieve memoried lad has finally managed to hold on to something. Your parents would make remarkable study materials. I suppose I could release them from my lab in exchange for your book. My book.
And I even trust you to hold that.
I don't see where you're in a position not to.
Not to trust you.
Do you have a
Pretty easy
choice?
to know.
Give me the book and I can tell you that I'm going to release your parents, and you can trust me if you choose, or don't trust me. Keep the book. My hound brings your empty carcass back to me so that I can rebind it in your flesh, and I get to turn your parents into something better. Either way, I can, if I so choose, use your parents. I'm telling you that if you return my tome, then I will not do that. I do not owe you, nor can I provide to you, any evidence.
Can try an insight.
Go ahead. All right. So
Are familiar with this man?
that dirty 20 tells you, first of all, he's not happy, like at all.
No.
He is almost treating you kind of like a peer. He's trying to maintain his authority over you, though he has no direct control over you right now. He doesn't seem dishonest. He seems angry. Maybe a little bit of worried in there. He really wants that tone back.
Oh, you're gonna be so disappointed.
Doesn't seem like he's lying.
That's about all the assurance he can get. He'll just, yeah, no, he doesn't want to hold it out. He will just put it on the ground and step back. He doesn't want that dog's mouth near him.
The dog will reach down, pick it up in its jaws, and swallow it up.
Ugh.
Then he will slowly approach you, Edwin. You never said anything about your own life, Edwin.
No. Yeah, that's true.
But I am no whimsy folk otherling. I don't make crooked deals like you elven folk do. Besides, soon enough I'll be able to rip your skeleton out of your screaming body in person. Don't die on me before I can get my hands on you, boy. And I'll make you into something proper useful. The dog's gonna get right up in your face and bark loudly and then dart into the woods. And you are alone.
He's just. Oh, boy, howdy, that's a shaky breath.
Oh, Edwin, baby.
He'll just walk back to town.
Right, the walk back
Slowly.
it does start to warm up the further you get away from that spot.
That is fair. City is safety, and college is even more safety.
As you head down the hallway to the dorms, that same young woman who delivered your package is going to. She's walking away from the dorms. Where's you? Freshman.
Yeah.
You look like you've seen a ghost. Are you okay?
Maybe.
Is there something I can help you with? You look
Uh.
awful.
Just have had a lot going on.
Do you need a cup of tea? Coffee?
Be nice, honestly.
This is weird. Okay.
No, it's okay. I can.
No. I'm just gonna kind of. You look rather shaken. She's gonna take you down the dorm hall, put her key into the door, and open it, and pull you through with her. And what you enter is nothing like your dorm room. You're in a small sitting room with a coffee table, 2 chairs, and a couch, doors going in either direction, and as you walk in, a pot of water begins to boil itself. She takes the lid off of a percolator and starts to pour the boiling water through, and then pours you a cup of coffee. And next thing you know, she has sat you down in a comfortable, overstuffed chair, and you have a cup of coffee and a plate of almond cookies.
That is infinitely better than where he just came from. Kind of take that a few moments to just kind of stare into the middle distance and just sip some coffee.
One of the perks you get when you've been here a while, and she's going to hold up a second key. This one has a red gem in it. Private common rooms. Bit of an oxymoron name, but, you know, for study.
See where it'd be helpful.
So do you want to tell me what's going on?
I don't know how complicated it is. I mean, half the reason I'm even here, I mean, friends and I technically have a place, I just can't stay there.
The students and researchers don't generally get this look to their face, the one that you've got going on right here, until they've been at a single core study for at least a few years. Or if they've done something that they think the authorities are going to come handle them for. So which is it for you?
neither of those specifically, but closer to the second one, I guess.
What nation state did you piss off badly enough to hunt you down?
Court Wizard of Philemon. Specifically.
I have no idea. What did you do to piss
He
him
was-
off?
Well, he was, well, technically my old mentor, I guess, but I ran off from him and took his spellbook and burned his copies.
Oh. You're the kid everybody's been talking about.
Oh, cool.
You're the freshman who brought that rather concerning tome to the librarian.
Yeah. And I just gave him back the fake one.
It doesn't come back to bite you.
It will.
She's gonna refill your coffee at that mention. Well, I think you're about as safe and here as you will be anywhere. Except maybe the larger university branch, but that's only because of volume.
I mean, yeah. I just feel like anything he sends after me, in theory, won't be able to get through in here.
It would take some effort.
He's already tried twice.
It would take some effort to get into here.
Never thought that all of it would be such a big mess. All I wanted to do was learn magic, and I thought I could.
Sounds like you've had a rough go of that first part.
All of it feels rough. First time, like, magical college has been like a possibility.
It is a good place to study. It does require some self-motivation.
I mean, everything I have learned so far and self-taught.
Well, then you're in a good place. Look, I don't know how dangerous this fellow after you is, or anything like that, but I've seen you around here for the last week or so, and you don't look so well. If you need help or research materials that you can't get your hands on yet, or just somebody to talk to, come find me.
I appreciate it, thanks.
My name's Isilara, but my friends call me Issy. And you can call me that too. Just say my name and knock on the dormitory door.
Was that how they do it?
Yes, that is how we do it.
Huh.
Normally, if you come in the springtime and you don't come in the middle of the night, they explain all that to you.
Yep, fair. Yeah, I mean, we were attacked by something that came out of a book that night, so it was a hasty decision when I couldn't sleep. Anyways,
Well, that coffee's not going to help you sleep.
that's fine.
Freshman, I'm sorry that it... You know, I never knew until now why May You Have an Interesting Life was such a curse. I think I get it now. But hey, you're around friends and colleagues here, and we don't take slights against our own sitting down. She's going to stand up. She's going to put her fingers in your hair and kind of ruffle your hair a little bit. Give you a pat on the shoulder. You have friends here. Maybe if you stick around long enough, we'll even know your name. I'm not supposed to leave new students in here, but just make sure you close the door when you leave, and stay as long as you like. The coffee, if you pour it too slow, the coffee does taste a little bit burnt.
Good to know. Need to figure out how to make mine taste less burnt. I never really noticed it until Halfling pointed it out.
What do you mean make yours less burnt? You just don't cook the beans as long.
No, I don't do that. I just have something on the block.
She's gonna sit back down and pull out a small notebook and a quill, and it's the little glob of ink will appear on the end of the quill. Okay, I need you to explain exactly what you're talking about. And while you're doing that, we're going to move along to let's see, Soliana, you had another yes.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes.
You're purchasing your matrimonial pendant. That which signifies that you are eligible for courtship.
No.
Well, that's what it originated.
That's what you're
That
purchasing.
is what they're sold for. That is what you're buying.
Yeah.
That may not be the intended end state.
But
Did you want to go ahead and do that?
yeah.
All right. Sully, it's kind of a heavy-hearted thing that you're doing. A very personal thing for an elf. To go out to these jewelry stores. But this is Tolteron, the finest elven smiths, if you listen to them, in the world, reside here. And they shape silver and gold and gems, large stones. They won't tell you this unless you ask, but most of them are mined up by the dwarves. Or some of them come from this southeastern place called Axia, where they pull gems from Amethyst Falls. So what sort of gem are you looking for?
She's gonna be looking for something simple, something non-intrusive. Probably just a simple quartz.
Quartz,
That looks pretty.
Quartz isn't the rarest gem, nor the most flashy, but it is stable and a sign of a good, long, healthy relationship. Not prone to flights of fancy and whimsy, but stable, solid, beautiful in its... I hesitate to say it beautiful in its mundanity, but kind of.
Well, that's quartz in a nutshell.
But with ease, you find a beautifully cut and polished quartz in a pleasant setting. You are not the only person here
Oh no.
shopping this place. Another elven woman familiar to you, kind of, stands nearby doing the same. It's a bit of a faux pas, honestly, but here you are.
Soliana's just gonna awkwardly. I see. You're doing better. Ezra, right?
Oh, you. Yes. She's She's just gonna kind of look over, glance down, and just, I see. Uh,
You too?
Hmm?
You too?
Sort of. Easter's gonna glance around, just not its intended purpose, I assume.
No. Was hoping it was for you, though.
Mm-mm. No. I'm afraid not.
Well, I am sorry to hear that.
And I'm sorry to hear that for you as well. She's gonna kind of just peek around, just lean a little closer. Cheated?
No? Died?
She just kind of goes quiet. Like her mouth is slightly agape, just I'm so sorry. Recent?
Yeah. He was a Kingsguard in Greymore.
I see. I see. Well, I think I've found the one I want, and I will be purchasing it and changing its intended purpose.
Thank you for warning us, Ezra.
Thank you for listening. The rest with you. Did they all make it?
They
Here?
did. We're staying for the party.
That... So hopefully nothing happens.
Lord
Nothing
willing.
untoward. Nothing untoward.
Nothing untoward.
Things...
Other than the usual.
I haven't been back out on patrol. But... Not officially. But there are still things out there.
Well, hopefully they stay off a little longer.
Hopefully. I'm not going to count on it. Going to be one hell of an I told you so.
Oh, for many people, I am sure.
More than they would like to admit.
Well, best wishes to you and have a good party, I suppose.
I want to forget what happened, honestly. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Your... Hold on. What... Soliana, what was your last name again? What's your family
Bagwin.
name? Right. Never been much of one for the theater, but everybody knows your family name.
Yes, we've done pretty well for ourselves.
May your family put on a stellar performance this year.
Thank you.
They usually do. Take care of yourself.
You too.
And may Valerian stay standing strong. You're not a ranger, so I can't tell you a farewell with that, but not this time.
No, dead attitude.
No,
Fare
that
you-
attitude, buddy.
Fare you well, Soliana.
You too, Isra. Stay safe.
I shall. And Isra will go make her purchase and walk out the door.
Soliana will make sure that Isra has made her purchase before making her own.
Mhm.
She's down the street. Yeah, okay. Awkward.
Awkward. Oh no, it got weird.
Soliana over here like, I didn't get her tea. Did her man cheat? Someone needs to break that bitch's windows.
Alright. So, Soliana, where are you taking that?
Soliana probably knows a few quiet spots that she can slip off to.
Mm-hmm.
Probably around the lower city. That she's gonna slip off to break it.
Alright. Easily enough, you find a quiet area. Kind of nestled in the woods. Trees around you, but not necessarily occupied ones.
Yeah, she's just gonna kind of find a good spot to position it on something and whack it, I guess. She's got a hammer.
The process is there's a bit of finesse to it. Go ahead and make a
Sleight of hand?
yeah,
Sleight of hand.
sleight of hand's about as good as anything else.
All right.
That's the finesse one.
Yeah, that's the finesse one. I was trying to see if she had anything that could help, but no, it just cooks utensils. Whack it with a rolling pin. Dang, no. Anyway.
You got your fancy stick.
14. All right. It doesn't crack into like a beautiful pattern foreshadowing some great future romance, but it also doesn't shatter into a million pieces. So
Take. We'll take it.
all right, and you have it feels final as you do it, Soliana. Maybe even a little painful.
It's not quite closure, but it's close
Yeah.
for now. She'll tuck away her engagement stones under more close inner chest and wear the pendant more out, since it's supposed to be visible.
Mm-hmm. And with that, you've officially taken yourself off the market, Soliana.
Well, he's gonna break the news to Marius.
Oh no! She's gonna be such a heartbreaker. She's not the one. She's not Cammy. She's not gonna end up with a harem.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Soliana. We'll probably head back to the room and everything.
All right. Okay, and let's see, Marius.
We're visiting Grandma's tomb.
All right. You know, Grandma's tomb is not terribly hard to find. Beneath.
How do you mean?
I mean, it's upon asking for her, and you know, asking for information on the catacombs beneath Tolderom, you are given instructions on how to access the crypts underneath the castle. Now, you don't actually go through the castle. There are several entrances along the edge of the hillside, and entering the let's see, entering the crypts, you find an area that is quiet and restful. The tombs are nearly silent, with mourners is maybe not like the right term for an elf in this area. They do mourn, but it's more of quiet reflection when they do come to the tombs. And it takes a while. Do you have anybody with you, or is it just you?
Marius probably did wander off alone on this.
Okay.
He told the others where he was going, but he didn't say what he was doing.
Gotcha.
With a determined look in his eye.
All right, Marius. Takes you some time as you wander through the corridors to find it. But eventually, right where you were told, there's the elven tombs for the common folk are often a plaque in the wall with the bones behind them. In these large catacombs. You turn into the cell, or the where your gam is.
Gam.
This whole area is fairly well lit up by glowing gems. You turn into this vault, and there is a stone casket. Etched into the sides of this are images of a horned woman with a large blade, all but dancing. It looks almost like a steps diagram for a dance, or for many dances. Each one is very meticulously carved. The inscription on the tomb reads Andrea Lavandre Mond, the Wrath Dancer. Master,
That's kind of badass.
Master of the Ash Rune. The top of the lid of the casket has etched into it a 5.5 foot long relief of a blade with runic symbols down the actual blade part of the sword. There's also a series of glyphs at the head of the casket that everything else here is written in Alcevesian Common. This just appears to be letters. It's an elven script, you know that much, but you don't know Elvish that well.
Don't really know Elvish.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time coming, this has. He's just gonna take a good bit to just observe this coffin. And he's just kind of soaking it in. This is the first family member he's seen outside of his, his dad and his mom, who passed away such a long time ago, and now this is the grave apparently of his grandmother. Just silent. He does take note of those of the depictions of the movements and everything. He is taking note of that.
All right.
Suppose I'd only learn more than I ever thought I did. Howdy, Grandma. Reckon it's a bit late for, greetings and all. Really nice to meet you. And he's been, I would say, through this whole trip, pretty sturdy looking. But here he seems a bit off balance. A moment of weakness, I guess you could say.
All right. Marius, you're not sure if it's where you are, or whose bones are near you, or maybe it's some magic left by the elves. And if it is magical, it's not new magic. This feels very, very old. But there is a sense of comfort. Not enough to take the pain away.
Yeah, but
A pat on the back and a punch in the shoulder.
is there anybody around?
Not in the immediate vicinity. If you went out in the hallway, you could find somebody fairly quick, but you're fairly private over here.
He's gonna pull his sword out and just kind of mimic the glyphs for a moment.
Okay.
Learn some tricks from Grandma.
As you start doing this, Marius, the motions feel very natural to you, but they're also very, very complicated. You try. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay. 23, very good. Now make an acrobatics check for me.
Oh, this is not gonna go as good.
Oh,
He says.
Okay.
So the first set of moves, you have both the endurance and the dexterity to actually start to make some sense of it. It will take some further study. Like it'll take some work to actually get good at this, but you can see how you could apply this. If this was, you can visualize you're moving. You actually get to the point you feel how your muscles are moving and how it's naturally moving your body. How an attack, normally what would be a blind offensive maneuver, is simultaneously moving you into a defensive position. So as your blade lashes out, your body defends itself from from reprisal. And you can think that if you could do this instinctively, if this was just second nature to you, I mean, you could see how
beneficial. Okay.
yeah. That's it.
Practice makes perfect.
It would take some. It would take some practice.
Oh yes.
Are you writing anything down, or?
Yeah, if I mean, it's probably going to be very crude depictions of it,
Mhm.
but I
Big
think.
figures.
Well, okay, well, not everyone's an artist. It gets the point across.
It's a dance puzzle from Curse of Strahd.
I mean, my
if
brain was
only
coming
we-
to like the dancing dragon from freaking
Yeah.
Avatar.
But yeah, he's gonna after he attempts to do it, he's gonna pull out his little journal and copy it down, as well as he's gonna copy the glyphs down,
Okay.
and then also a crude rendition of the sword
All right.
and the runes upon it.
Takes a couple hours, but you can get all that down.
For a second there, I thought it was just like you slammed the keyboard.
Nope, that is done with intentionality. Those are the and actually I can
Achie.
I mean, he's probably going to present this to the crew, so.
Mhm.
Hey,
Edwin,
does
can you
anybody know
transform?
what does this mean? Like, I've heard of word vomit, but this is ridiculous.
I mean, so long as it's common, elvish, dwarvish, draconic, or halfling, Edwin can help.
Yeah.
Edwin
Edwin's
knows
like,
halfling too.
language?
Jeez.
Yes.
Yes, Edwin knows halfling.
so if you go to the journal, you'll find a Mond family genealogy journal, and you should
Ooh.
have access to the glyphs there.
I do.
Fancy.
Okay, Scooby.
But
Row, Edwin.
okay. But after that, he is gonna take a moment, pay his respects, and then he'll bounce on out of there. And sneeze a bit too. It
Yeah.
is that time of year.
Excuse me, sorry. I thought I muted myself.
You did.
Okay, good.
You did.
You can't hide from the webcam.
So
Ominous.
you leave your grandmother's tomb, and is there anybody else doing anything else? Do I have anything else written down for you guys? Edwin, were you going to try to cast another sending?
Yeah, you probably should try that on.
Same rules as before.
Yeah. I just didn't have what written down for that one because I didn't think about it. Just spark notes and figure it out. Just a con save. Let's go, buddy. Do you get 2 points of exhaustion? You sure as shit do.
Woof.
Alright, the casting these spells that are really too advanced for you is starting to take a toll on your mind. But what are you going to send and to whom?
He is. Do you pick mom or dad in this? Try mom first, I guess.
Okay.
And basically, just he'd introduce himself. Hopefully, mom knows his voice. Yeah, I know it's been a while. I mean, just in as much summary as he can. It's like he's okay. Just kind of, if they can get free or away, just head north or south. Don't stop. Don't stay in Greymore. And don't go west. Or,
Yeah, west.
yeah, whichever way Valerian is.
West, yeah.
All right, so you almost immediately get a response, Edwin, from your mother. Edwin, I'm so happy to hear your voice. We've sent so many letters. Never responded. We're in Bergario. Left Greymore once things got bad. See, how many words is it? 20? 25?
25.
I'm so sorry,
You know what?
son. We never.
He can't do that no more. He can keep trying. So no, he can't.
Not today. Not that same day.
No, he could try one more. It's just gonna hurt to do.
You will get days of rest, but
Yeah. I mean, he knows they're okay, and that's what matters, right?
and they have been for some time.
Apparently.
That's good. Good for them.
Bothan, was there anything else that you wanted to do before the party kicks off?
Not in particular. Just continuing to work on his network and trying to figure out if anything seems like it's brewing for the party. I know, he'll. Trying to think how much to say to our new contacts. But yeah, but given that they said that there's like gaps in communication that make it easier for someone to do something.
Indeed. If you wanted to get something or in or
And
out.
he'll imply that the it seems like the party would be good cover for something to happen and like just see if they have any reaction to that, and like implying it's like, okay, is there anything going down at the party?
Okay. Let's see here. Why don't give me persuasion, please, for that?
Okay, sure. Do that.
We haven't rolled nearly enough dice this session.
Oh, oof! Oh, that's
Oh,
only a
wow.
9.
Okay.
We're new friends, Boffin, but we're not that close of friends.
They're a little cagey.
Right.
Well, I mean, everybody has plans during the party. We just don't share ours. Wouldn't want competition yet.
Sure. Right, but I mean, obviously you're keeping wind on plans of competition.
Yeah.
That could be disruptive to your own plans.
If you're implying competition from outside of Valerian, well, I haven't heard anything too meaty, if you will. However, let's just say that stocks of Valerian rice, Greymoran rice, and Greymoran rice wine are a little low in the nobles' larders. Not quite so low in a few warehouses that we don't talk about.
Right.
Yeah, we just found them. They fell off the back of a truck.
How much do you trust divination as a source of intel?
I'm not particularly magical myself. I trust good hard coins in my hand.
Right.
Steel by my side, and, well, if somebody's going to throw some spell out there, then it better be aimed in the right direction.
Right.
I predict that I'm going to get more wealthy as time goes on. How's that for divination magic?
Not bad. I hope you're right there. Just, I don't know. I've got my own sources that saying that supposedly nothing concerning Greymore is going to happen during the party, but it's just a matter of what happens afterwards.
Yeah, I've heard that Queen's Diviner.
Mhm.
It's a bit of a nervy fellow.
Okay. So where does he fit into the lines of communication we were discussing previously?
Well, if there is a line of communication, he sits to the side of it.
Mhm.
The Queen consults him a lot, or so I understand. I don't have access to the courts anymore. But, as rumor has it, she asks him his feelings on just about anything of any great import. Doesn't always take his advice, but
Well, it still seeks it, which says enough.
I would say that he gets to twist all of the news that gets to her. It's the counselors that aren't passing all of the news that I'm most worried about. You know, one of the counselors used to go to all of the fancy events. Never goes to any of them anymore.
Strange. Certainly something you would think you would do in that sort of position for no other reason than to just keep tabs on what's going on.
One would
And which counselor would this be?
Oh, one of the stuffy fellows whose nose is higher than his forehead half the time. He's not
know
one of,
how little that narrows it down.
Right?
he's not one of my mark.
No.
The last Kenku that went into his house, I understand, didn't go to prison, but wasn't exactly seen again.
I see. Still, it's hard to see if I can figure out anything else for you on that matter, Ben.
I will reward your information with some of my own, of course.
Naturally. A matter of some, I guess, smaller. How easily could your network track down an individual?
Oh. I mean, if they're in Tuldaram, give us a description and a name.
I don't know if they're in Tuldarum, but if they are in Valerin somewhere.
Who are you looking for?
It's a tiefling man, an older gentleman. He'll describe Mary's father.
Marcus.
She'll write down what he looks like, and
Like that one, but older.
See him just like a lot more wrinkly.
One more wrinkly and
Yeah, he's not going to bring up Mary's specifically.
Reeks of alcohol.
she's gonna look over to the Kenku. All right, Leatherbeak, you got that? And the Kenku will repeat your words back to you perfectly in your own voice.
It's always surprising. I guess gotta be careful what you say around a Kenku.
Clicks its beak at you. We'll send word.
All right.
Through one of the
I'll-
usual ways, if we hear anything. Is this a marker or concern?
I guess what does he mean by concern?
Is this somebody you're worried about, or somebody that you're looking to get something from?
It's just someone I've lost touch with recently, and I wish to get back in contact with him.
Fair enough. You have your secrets, I have mine. I will respect yours.
Only known each other for a week, after all.
He hasn't even introduced himself as Prince of Halfling.
You don't know that.
I mean, he could have. I appreciate the bravery here.
Hello, yes, fellow criminals. I am a prince.
Not that
You
like
know,
he's actually
you
a
know how these
prince.
criminal
it's just-
organizations
it's
are.
just-
Sometimes you invent grandiose titles for you to like make sure that people don't know
Prince
your
of
actual
Thieves.
identity.
Mhm.
Howdy do, fellow mafia.
You've got the Kenku oiled leather, and then the half-elf Nathalia. She probably has a nickname.
Yeah, you haven't said as much about her.
Oh, she's been the one who's talking. Sorry, I didn't make that clear.
That makes sense, though. Yeah, I think nothing else in particular at this time. So we're gonna just have to wait and see how things shake out now.
Very well, and I think that we are about finished with our 2 weeks of downtime. It is an exciting day.
Oh boy.
It is the eve of the beginning of the party. It is at sundown that the festivities begin, because the lights just don't turn off that night. They change colors. They are supplemented with music. It is, well, it's a party, you know?
Raise the roof.
The day before is just very quiet because everyone's waiting for that midnight start.
The day is the day all but holds its breath. And then evening falls. Nobody is in their home. Everybody is on the streets, many of them gathered in the center of Tol Duram. Over the lake, there are already little flashes of fireworks. Not entirely sure if it's enchanted or not, but the lake's surface is almost a perfect mirror right now. There are stars showing up in it as the skies darken. There's little plurps of music, little parps of trumpets here and there as people are warming up a little bit. Then, as the sun dips down, a great burst of multicolored fireworks illuminate the night sky. The queen stands at the edge of her balcony, her voice magically magnified, congratulating all of Valeran. Another year, successful, harvests bountiful. All of you are in the crowds below. There is no food that's being bought tonight. You're just handed things as you walk around. Like, and not just like elven food. There's halfling food here. Dwarven meal cakes. There's everything you can imagine is kind of just being handed out willy-nilly by people that are basically advertising their wares for the coming week. Like, ah, yes, if you're extremely hungover, eat this greasy thing from this stand to soak up all the alcohol in the morning. That sort of thing. The queen stands next to the king and her advisor, her chief advisor, on the balcony. As the party kicks off, everybody make a perception check for me.
Ah, there it is.
Mm.
There it is.
Oop, there it is. Oop, there it goes.
We all knew it was coming.
Oh,
Whoa, Sully,
Sully.
honey, baby.
Sully.
She's having a time.
Ah.
All right. Edwin, you see it first. Followed by Gale. They're quite a ways up there. The young nervous man, the Queen's diviner, his face begins to crack and shift. His eyes going from a bright blue, I think it was, to a purple. His hair bleaching itself of all color as he stands up taller. He looks almost like a porcelain creature. There is a yell. There's a magical discharge. And all of a sudden the Queen is falling from her balcony.
Oh.
Shut.
Well, fuck.
The Queen's Guard and the King are all drawing weapons, but before they do, this diviner lets loose a spell. Clouds gather up above him, and a dark face comes down from the clouds.
Mm.
Ah, hell.
Boffin, you are painfully aware of who this face is.
Yeah.
Edwin, you're all but having a panic attack from this.
Oh boy.
This is the Mad King. Morvain looks down, his cloudy eyes as embers. He looms down upon the gathered party. I, King Morvain of Greymore, do hereby declare war upon the elven land of Valerian and all of its inhabitants. Enjoy your party. We'll see you next time.
I told you so. We told you so.
We knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming. It was just a matter of what was coming. This is amazing. I'm so hyped.
Got all that intel too late.
And now it kicks off for real, folks.
Welcome to the Risen War.
Yay!
Hey-oh!
Suspicious
It
of
has
that
officially
Everyone's
divination reading.
dying.
All right.
Don't forget to join us next week. Join us on Discord. Make sure you follow us here and YouTube and all the other places. We'll see you next week. Yeah. Don't go anywhere because this is only gonna get better.
Be sure to
I
come
mean-
back.
Yeah, I mean, don't go doing anything else on your Friday nights.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah, come have
Good
fun
night.
with it. All will be well.
All will be well.
Hate.
Carry out.